This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about the Tiger King and finding the motivation right now.
Peace, it's there.
Ooh, 3, 2, 1. It's daylight savings, mate.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, all right. I woke up this morning, looked over at my clock, and I was like, oh yeah, nice. Like 8 o'clock or something. I was like, yeah, decent. And then rolled out of bed. I was like, shit, it's 9 o'clock. Like, oh dear.
yeah. We totally find out because we were up late watching Tiger King, and then I was like, I looked at the clock, and I was like, how the hell is it 2 a.m.? I was like,
yeah, it went forward already.
I was like, I swear we only just watched this many episodes. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's jump forward. I was like, we better go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, though, because at the moment, there's no sense of time anyway, so it's a fucking good time. No one's going to worry, are they? On
the plus side, that's one less hour we have to be in self-isolation. So...
Tell you what, I think the reality, I had work this week, obviously, till Friday, kind of did a check-ins Friday, and then I think Saturday, yesterday, it kind of hit me a little bit. I was a bit like, okay, now I'm fucking bored. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm kind of fed up with this or whatever. And also, I think for us, like, Isabel's starting to get the same way, so that's obviously difficult as well. But does anyone else, by the way, do this? I wonder if people are nodding along listening to this. On Netflix, do you find yourself more tempted to watch something you already watched than watch something new? Like, I can't bring myself to. There's some stuff on there. I'm like, yeah, but it could be a waste of time to watch it. It's not very good. Whereas I know that this is like half decent, and I've kind of watched it. I don't know why, but there's such a mass amount of films and TV series, but I can't bring myself to start watching one in case it's shit.
You have to you end flicking through endlessly.
It's an investment, isn't it?
And then you're like, I'll just watch Friends.
Yeah, I just do it. But I do it all the time. Like, I just find I watch like Only Fools and Horses, or like The Office, or Afterlife, or Derek, or I watch a Ricky Gervais stand-up, or Moneyball. I watched the other day film. I was like, I know what happens, but I was like, it's a good film. And then I don't know. I was just like, so if anyone's got any recommendations for good films or TV series that you know is good that I haven't already seen, because that's not a big amount, by the way. I think the last one that I really watched and invested in was Billions. It was incredible. And then again on like Netflix, I was on there, like Line of Duty's on there, and I was like, that's good. I might watch that again. Top Boy, very good. I might watch that again. But then I remembered that these were all once upon a time series that I'd never watched before, and I enjoyed them. So there must be others out there, which is why I started watching Tiger King. Because that copped up, and I was like, I've heard people talking about this.
We just said, so I didn't know anything about it until Chloe was talking about it, her friends were talking about it, Doug was talking about it, and then we were like, all right, we got to watch it now then. And I was like, I googled it, and it had popped up, the first thing on Netflix, that was the thing to watch on there. And I was like, I know this guy. I was like, not obviously personally, but I was like, I've watched a documentary about this guy before, and Louis Theroux did a documentary about big cats or dangerous animals in America like 4 or 5 years ago. I was like, yes, that's the guy. He's the guy that was on Louis Theroux's show. I was like, I already know what's going to happen. Didn't realise there was such internal politics within the big cat community. But
the big cat community is fucking going off, isn't it? Hey, I think the weirdest guy's the other guy. The one with like all the wives, he's a fucking fruitcake.
The doctor of he's got a doctor of mystical science.
He's a fruitcake.
His doctorate is in mystical science. Because I was like, because we were like, when he first started getting interviewed, we were like, he's the one that seems most sane. Like when you just speaking to him, initially he seems like he's got a brain, he's doing the right thing or whatever at the start of it. And then you're like, hang on a minute. No, he's got a doctorate in mystical science, which is a branch of theology. And it's this basically branch of studying, I guess, religion and God-like events, I believe. It's really interesting. So there's, I guess, the three main people are this Joe, what's his surname?
Exotic.
There we go.
I don't think it is, really. I think he might have changed it.
He changed it, yeah. And then there's this other girl. Is it Carol? Caroline? What's her name?
Carol? Something like that, yeah.
This woman who It's fucking meant. She's such a hippie. It's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people in case they want to watch it, but it is. I mean, I think there's 8 episodes, and I think we're 3 or 4 in. So you aren't you? So, and it's just about to it's getting spicy, and there's some stuff going on, and
it's mental. Yeah. Like that Joe Exotic guy is a hillbilly redneck gun shooting big cat guy, but he's also gay, has 2 husbands. And is.
But actually, out of all of it, though, I think he's the one who's most likely to be. I don't think he's done much wrong. I think he's sound. Like in the grand scheme of things.
He ran for president, didn't he?
Oh, fuck off, did he? Yeah. He's just. He's a bit eccentric, but he just loves. You can tell he just loves tigers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's all right. I think he, seems like a fun guy.
Carol Baskin is the guy. Like, there's a whole vendetta against this girl who's what's his called? W something Zoo, something like that. And then she's got her animal rescue or rescue cats or big cat rescue. That's what it's called. And
yeah, it's just basically an impound for tigers. It's not a rescue at all.
It's the same fucking thing. Like, she's like, I don't believe stuff in cages. Love, there's a cage behind with a big cat. You're standing there. You're doing the same thing. Yet your people are volunteers, and you've also set up this network. Which I was like, I've just watched a Scientology thing by Louis Theroux again, and I was like, you set all these tier systems for like wearing different coloured shirts and how long you have to spend being a volunteer to be able to get to a ranking within your community of the big cat rescue bit. And I was like, that's exactly what Scientology do, and that's a cult. And I was like, you're generally kind of gradually creating this cult-like following. But she's got like millions and millions of viewers, isn't she? She hit social media hard. You probably take it now, mate. But yeah,
she's the psycho one out of the lot. I think.
I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but I mean, her husband is definitely in that septic tank. So
yeah, tiger's got him, mate.
You think she fed into a tiger?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's either one of the two. And
if you had to kill someone and you had a mass amount of big cats like that and you wanted to get rid of all the evidence, that's what you'd do, mate.
I mean, you would do it, wouldn't you? Like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. This millionaire, multi-millionaire, and yeah, she's doing all right. And yeah, that other guy is an absolute doctor. What's his face? Is a nut job. He's interesting. Has like 4 or 5 wives, and then like, I don't know, preordains them into doing weird stuff. And
yeah, it's typical America, isn't it? Really? Do you know what I mean? It's just...
I mean, we'll watch the rest of the episodes and then we'll catch up again.
Yeah, next week, next episode we'll be on it, mate.
Like, it's crazy right now. Yeah, but we need it to. I don't know. I think I'm an episode ahead of you as well, so I don't want to spoil anything else.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that.
All I know is I'm going to dress up as Joe Exotic for Halloween this year. Sorry.
What, you're going to wear a leopard skin fucking thong and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And a gun. Jesus Christ, he's always got a gun. You see, the woman got like her arm ripped off though as well.
Yeah,
that was weird, wasn't it? And then she was like, I've got to get... She was back working there within 5 days. Because she was like, but the media are a win. You just got your arm ripped off by a tiger. Like,
it was almost as if she was blaming herself for it as well. She's like, it's not a tiger's fault. Well, I mean, don't put your arm in a cage as well. So, probably wouldn't bother doing that. But, yeah. So yeah, if anyone else got any more recommendations, please do let us know. Because, like I said, I'm always up for watching a good... something good on Netflix. So but if I watch what you recommend and I waste my time, I will be really pissed off.
So we've also been watching Top Chef, which is on Amazon Prime. You're not on Prime, are you? I'll share it with you. But Top Chef's really good. It's basically it's a cookery show, but American and over the top. You'd really like it. You like it.
I don't like over the top Americans though. So.
That's the annoying thing. It's like the British Bake Off on steroids, basically. It's good. It's good fun. But there's not as much bants. They're all a bit too intense.
Because it's American though, isn't it? So it's not going to be.
There's no bants. They're just like, we must win. Whereas the British Bake Off's a little bit more chill, a bit of laugh. Right, mate. What else do we talk about? I just a disclaimer: don't do pull-ups off doors whilst you're in quarantine. I've seen. Do you see Eric Helms' post? He was doing some pull-ups. So people obviously have been doing pull-ups.
Doors cannot hold your body weight. Like they're not connected. They're not like.
Just in case if anybody hasn't seen it, but
if people saw the size of the screws that hold doors in, they'd be like, nah, no, not doing that.
And then like he did a post of him doing some like pull-ups off the door, and then he immediately did a post like the day after, was like, FYI, with being like crossed through what he did. He was like, I've been contacted by a load of carpenters and people, and been like, yeah, don't do this because doors will break and you will fall and hurt yourself and break your doors. Yeah.
Is that not just common sense? Like, is that
no, it's definitely not. It's definitely not, because I've seen it on a few people's stories. I only follow about 4 or 5 people on Instagram, and I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times that people do pull-ups.
So with doors, what I've seen some people try and do is they try and I've even seen people like wrap like their dressing gown like cord over the top and do like rows with it, and even that I was like, surely something's going to break at some point. Like,
I get the because you're meant to be able. There's a TRX fitting, isn't there, to put through it? I think that obviously, but you shut the door, don't you?
Yeah, and you also have to make sure it's the right way. You have to do it the right way so that it's up against the whole door frame.
Yeah, so it's up there near the hinge, but don't do it on the other end. It's all about lever systems and where that's actually where about moment arms and torque is.
Yeah, true.
Exactly, mechanics. But yeah, don't do that, please. But
interestingly, though, I was interestingly. Here we go. Here's a question for you, because I actually am in the process of writing up Chloe's upper body session for indoors with no equipment, and the only exercise you can do for your back really with very little equipment is a table row. That's like the only one that's pretty, and even then I've seen some people try and do a table row and just fucking pull their table over, and I'm just like, no, it has to be certain types of tables. You can't just fucking rock up to a table that's got like tiny little legs and row on it. Like, people are just losing all sorts of common sense, aren't they, at this point in time? But yeah, don't do it on like a fucking glass table or like a little like corner table or like a little one. Like, just be smart.
Yeah, save you some time. There's nothing you can do a row in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got bands. Don't worry, mate. Or some little mini bands. Be fine. But yeah, I'll show you people, because I've only got some equipment here, like some little mini bands and one band that you can do shit tons of like banded pull aparts with. Obviously, you can double it up and make it stronger or whatever, but see what you can do with the mini bands, the little glutey bands and stuff. I'm gonna do everything but those little walks, little crab walks, basically.
Yeah, do it. Fucking hell.
I'll be like, you don't have to just do this. Do other stuff with it. Doesn't matter. It's all right. But yeah. But I actually did. I realised, well, we're basically 1 week in now, aren't we, of actual lockdown? But 2 weeks since 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks in if you're smart, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you've been doing it properly.
I've been 2 weeks and a couple of days, basically, because my last day at work was the Friday last year. So I'm 2 weeks and 2 days. So I haven't been to work since then. It feels really odd now. I'm like, yep. So I want to go to work. Weird. But I actually did my first proper quarantine workout yesterday. Do you know what I did, Dan? Just so people want some ideas. I even wrote it down.
Oh,
yeah. So I did 5 rounds of. I did 5 rounds, 10 reps of each, non-stop, of reverse lunge sliders. Wonderful. Then into press-ups, 10. But I varied the press-up each time, so it was a little bit more kind of, I don't know, upper pec dominant, so incline dominant, then down, then I basically changed a little variation every single time. Yeah. I did some lateral sliders, but I made it hip dominant, so it was like a lateral deadlifty movement, not a lateral lungey movement. So it was hip, because obviously I did the reverse lunge, that was the quad one, right? I did some banded pull aparts in a hinged position. So I guess that's like whatever they are. They like flies, banded flies,
like rear
delty things. I was just doing millions of them, so between 10 and 15 until I got tired.
Not millions though, probably.
Not literally millions, but yeah, till I got tired because I was like, I need to do a lot of these because I did a lot of press ups. And then I did my hamstring sliders because I've got sliders, so I'm using them all the time. You can use towels, it's fine. So hamstring slides. After about 3 or 4 sets of those, I was like, I'm gassed. So I just did the eccentric bit. So I was like, yeah, this is hard. And then RKC planks. So I did 5 rounds of 6 different exercises. Didn't stop. That was fun.
You know, on the sliders, another good one on the sliders is doing a saw plank. Similar, like obviously with the RKC, but you just.
So yeah, with the plank thing, I basically changed the plank. So I did some saw ones, but those are on this floor. It's not very nice. It's kind of laminate hard wood flooring because it kind of moves your, I don't know, you basically look like you're scraping your forearm on the floor the whole time. You need to do it on a cushion or something like that. And then so I did that, then gave myself 3 minutes, and then I worked out, I was like, I've done 50 press ups, so I might as well do 100.
That's the next logical thing.
So I'm going to do something like this every other day. I think that's all I can stomach. But I am going on for like I've got to do a big bike ride tomorrow, so I will do a big bike.
I think with it, like I'm
not done, mate. I did some, so I did 50 press ups. And then I did some kind of RDL sprinters, which I might do a post about some of it's not plyometric. It's like quick, rapid movement and understanding, because everybody's gone super low, slow and tempo and time under tension. But there's also a different way of doing it, of going super fast and movement with more intent. So I do a variant of that. I might as well do a post. I mean, it is the time, isn't it? So might be on the PTC one instead, but they've got actually more important stuff to post about. Oh yeah, everybody who signed up for the free PTC course, well done. I think we've reached over 1,500 people, so that's pretty good. Getting some decent content. If everybody can just pay for some stuff afterwards, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
But serious, all good. Should be fun. We'll put some more stuff together. That should be updated. So, thank you for joining team, essentially. What were you going to say, Daniel?
No, I was just saying, I think it's one of those things where I haven't been motivated to work out at home either. Like I've got all the stuff. I've got TRX, I've got bands, I've got sliders, and I've got dumbbells. I've got fucking dumbbells. I've got 22 kilos. Like most people would kill for what I've got, and I was like, I've not been motivated. And it's interesting because on check-ins this week, I had a lot of clients sort of say they weren't feeling motivated. They can't motivate themselves to like track their calories or track their food or to train properly and stuff. And I was like, 100% normal. 100%, I'm with you. I get it. I get every single thing you're saying, because we're in a different scenario. You're busy. You've got work on. You've got all these other stuff. And like, I think a lot of the people that have managed to get on with it and crack on with their workouts are sort of they maybe got a little bit less work on maybe than before. So like if they're working from home, they feel like they've got a bit more time and they feel like they're still in a bit of a routine. They can do it. Whereas other people that I found are finding it's tough. They've still got a lot of work on, or they're very, very busy because they're related to the jobs that are essential potentially. And I just feel like I trained yesterday and I was like, first time I was like, right, I'm ready now. I was like, I'm fucking sick of this. I feel shit. I feel awful. I was like, I can do some stuff. So I literally just did single arm dumbbell rows. It only goes up to 22 kilos, but I was like, I'll just do as many as I can on my weaker side, match it on the other side, and then did like overhead tricep extension with the TRX. Lovely exercise. Love that movement. And I just did those back to back for as long as I could until I got like knackered and couldn't carry on. So I just did like probably like maybe 8 rounds of that, and then did a dumbbell floor press with the bicep equivalent on the TRX, and did that. And I think I just did eight of them as well. But it was enough for me to get going. And I'm like, after I did it, I was like, I felt good. Yeah, I'm a bit sore this morning. I felt good, and I was like, right, today I wasn't going to do anything, but I was like, right, tomorrow I'll be able to. I know that I'll be like, right, I can do something. And it's only the motivation comes about once you start doing stuff, once you start going about it. But also with the news that's come out today that we're going to be like this for quite a while, it kind of sinks in and you kind of go, actually, I'm ready now. Like you have your bit of a, like say, a pity party. You're like, oh, I can't train. I don't like this. This is shit. And then you go, actually, I'm going to have to make the most of this because this is all I've got. So I will be doing shit and I will have to make the most of it. It's just important to remember that, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, the news that came out today, we recorded this on a Sunday, was it 3 to 6 months of kind of some sort of restrictions? So I think, obviously, we're not the gospel of knowledge, but I'm going to say we were speaking, so I don't know, just from the gym perspective of people in London. I've been talking to obviously the fitness directors of Third Space, fitness director of Gymbox, which we were doing the PTC, and best case scenario probably July that we reopen. We're talking best case scenario. I know from like the Gymbox kind of guys, they're talking like they've got plans for July and then every 2 months of reopening all the way till January next year. They've prepared. They're literally putting plans together. So it's like July, and then they'll think September, and they'll think like November, then they'll think January. They've got 2 months periods, and that's going to be their plan for those 2 months if they reopen. Those 2 months if they reopen, because they're expecting a drop off of people, right? Because they're like, all right, well, trainers and staff aren't going to come back. The fact is that every 2 months they're thinking an extra 10 to 20% of people will not come back to work, and they'll go do something else. Which is going to be a real thing. I think some people will switch careers after this as well.
I think. Well, I had a chat with one of my clients, one of my ex-clients the other day. She did that. She quit her job and she started a brand new job about a year ago. I think it's kind of why she had to stop coaching, because she didn't have the money, and she was going to make this big change, and she wanted to do it because she hated her job and commuting and the hours and stuff. And she was speaking to her the other day, and she was saying that this will be the best time to ever do it, because your financial security is gone for a lot of people from their job potentially. So she was like, if that was one of the things that was holding you there, you're like, well, that's gone. You realize how much time there is in the day. You can learn and upskill, and then once everything's kind of like I said 12 16 weeks, a lot of people can upskill in that time frame enough to get a job in something. I mean, as a PT, if you did that, you could probably retrain 4 times and go and get a job somewhere. So yeah, like just to give you an idea of I suppose what it takes to retrain, like, there will be a drop off, but there'll also be people I think who want to retrain as into fitness as well. So maybe not, you might even itself out, but I do think that for a lot of people it will, like, I think it will reset and recalibrate that whole thing of what people want out of life. And I think a lot of people who likewise maybe wanted to try being an entrepreneur, try doing their own business, I think will now go back to employed work or look to go back to employed work because they sense the insecurity of it and stuff. And I think there's a lot of people talking a lot of stuff, and I think some of the entrepreneurs that I follow are sort of saying that something like this makes or breaks those sorts of people who are going to go on and do that sort of thing. So yeah, it is a time that people will, I think, sort of figure out what they want out of things with that. And I also think as well, like, without sounding too harsh, I think there will be in every business probably some sort of recalibration of personnel. Like, it's a chance for companies to kind of, I suppose, decide who they need and who they don't need. And as harsh as that sort of sounds, companies are going to use it as a reason or as a chance to streamline their employees or their staff or their consultants or whatever. And if you're a really good, solid, I suppose, trainer or whatever you are, you'd probably be all right. Like, you'd probably be fine.
I mean, if I'm really honest, I'd probably look over on my shoulder, because an education coordinator or education lecturer within a company, I'm an expense. I'm not essential at all. I'm complete luxury of upskilling within house, and a lot of other gyms do not have people within this position. We know that Pure Gym wouldn't have it. We don't know that most big kind of gyms wouldn't have it. So
yeah, but it's also what separates Third Space from other gyms. That's their USP. So
yeah, so it's an interesting one. But if it becomes a business standpoint, that part of my salary would be gone. So essentially, which is interesting. So watch this space. But I'm employed, so
you might have to go back to training more than 2 people a week, Tom.
I know, that's
what I mean. Hard life, isn't it?
That's hazardous. It's fine. I just do more work elsewhere. Yeah. I like this desk life. Actually, I don't. It's tough.
No, but I do think that people will, like, I sent out an email the other day about sort of predictions, and some of them were tongue-in-cheek, but some of them were kind of serious. And I do think a lot of people now will have been told that they can't work from home, and their companies have made them work from home essentially now, and they're going to sort of go, when I come back, any chance I can have 2 days a week working from home and that have that sort of better work-life balance potentially.
Yeah.
Because people will realise how well they can work at home.
I think
because you have to now, because it's not about, like, I think when some people work from home, if they do it 1 day a week, they kind of get distracted. They maybe don't work as well because they don't know how to work as well at home. But now after 12 weeks of working at home, you're going to have to figure out how you work best at home, whether you work best in the morning, the evening, whether in silence with music, outside, inside, whatever. But you're going to realise quickly how you work best. Companies are going to help with you.
I figured that I have to have standing. So like how I record the show, I stand the whole time, don't I? And when I'm working, I'm useless if I sit on the sofa or if I just sit at a desk. I'm really bad. So I have to have it up here and bum, 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 bum. So I think standing and being able to just wander around slightly and then come back to it is big for me. And I think I will be working from home a little bit more with the PTC stuff because I have like 1.5 to 2 days of doing that I don't have to go to the office, but unless it's filming or meetings. So it will be interesting because previously if I go to the office there, I'd sit at a desk, and probably why I got so tired because I was just like, geez, I'm not used to this at all. But it'd be better for me to have a standing desk because I fidget as well. So it's not annoying. Instead of just, I'm one of those tappers as well. If I'm sitting for a long time, moving my feet around, and really annoying person to be around. I mean, you know that. So yeah,
you are very annoying to be around.
But it'd be interesting. I think there'll be a case of all these industries that require a hell of a lot of travel, and if all the Zoom, Skype, FaceTime meetings actually have some sort of purpose, possibly there won't be as much need for traveling, all that kind of stuff. And we're actually finding out how many meetings need to be an email. So, which is great.
Yeah, quite a lot.
So obviously I've got a few clients that travel. I think record. One girl who works in private equity, she averages between 20 and 30 flights a month, and she's obviously hating it right now because she's like, this is weird, so weird. She'd rather have like 10 flights a month would be a nice thing to do. But she was like, probably on the back end of this, we'll realise the need that we don't need to be. Some obviously will have face-to-face, but Zoom and all that kind of stuff will, as it gets better and better and better and better, and people are doing stuff with, why not? It's going to happen, isn't it? It's just like this now. We're nearly 4 years in. We're over 4 years in doing Skype stuff, Skype recordings, and we've not upped our technology once. So
to be fair, we could go to Zoom. I think it's probably better than Skype. I think Skype's pretty old school, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's. I just think the world will fundamentally change, like after this, and not from a doom and gloom point of view, just from how we do things is going to change somewhat. I think it's going to change, like I said, business for sure. But I actually think for the better, it might actually help people with the whole work-life balance. I do think companies are going to start to realize actually, when they get their employees back, they're actually going to feel like, they're going to want to come back to office to work, but I think they're also going to feel the benefit of seeing their family and all that. There's loads of things I think will come off the back of it because they'll spend more time with their family, so they want to see them more. I think after that, But
really?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, I've not spent any time with mine. I can't spend any time with mine. Not allowed. Miles away. Interesting. I've seen my sisters, but I haven't seen my parents since Christmas. And it might not be till next Christmas. That'd be weird for me. Obviously, I only like live 60, 70 miles away. So yeah, crazy. You want to see? So BBC have just posted 6 things that are booming, 6 industries that are booming, Dan, right now.
I saw.
It's bikes and exercise gear. Absolutely making a killing, obviously. But go buy a bike because it's still, for the time being, is allowed. But there's some morons. Did you see there was in Derby? Is it Derbyshire?
Oh my God!
The people that do it, 25 adults and some children having a booming party, like karaoke, everything.
Fucking idiot.
And yeah.
They should just be. They should just be allowed to chemically castrate those people. They can't reproduce. They're just not allowed to reproduce. It's not allowed.
It's awful.
Nope.
And do you see some of their food choices as well? Awful.
Yeah, that's what they got ripped for more, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were like, how is a plate full of oranges good buffet food?
Yeah.
bit weird. And an egg in the middle of a salad.
Mate, it's Derbyshire. It's Derbyshire, mate.
Awful.
You know what I mean?
But yeah. Outdoor and indoor games. So apparently pool tables have gone up quite a lot.
Fucking hell, how much space people got in their fucking houses?
It was funny, like this company, they sell where did they go? Outdoor table tennis tables. It was like, I sold 15 this week in the same week last year. This week I sold 124.
Wow.
Wow, he's making a packet.
He's laughing, isn't he? Yeah.
Home and garden items. I guess so. Like grow your own veg and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, people are going to be doing that sort of shit, aren't
they? Reading, I'm guessing. So yeah, was it Liberty store? Their sewing accessories are up 380%, and craft kits up 228%. Smashing it. Yeah, books up 150%. Pretty good. Electrical goods, interesting. That makes more sense. Yeah, I guess you need a new printer, so you're going to be part of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, laptops and printers. I actually thought, because John Lewis was like on the last day that John Lewis was open, I went because it had nearly the whole store had between 30 to 70% off on nearly all the clothing lines, everything. I was like, shit, I'm gonna go up to the electrical bit, and I was like, if there's gonna be anything, just to see if there was any Macs or anything. And I was like, nope, of course they have no deals on Apple. I was like, if they had 30% off, I would have hands down just bought one there. I was just like, that'd be good. That's an investment. It's fine. But really annoying. Coffee apparently is up.
Strange. Coffee, yeah, but wholesale like coffee.
Wholesale,
like, yeah.
So, Rave Coffee selling exotic coffees. Yeah, they've had to double their staff. Jesus Christ, pretty good, isn't it? Interesting. But because I'm at Chloe's, I don't have my Nespresso machine here, so I'm getting more and more capsules as we go on.
Yeah.
I need to bring one back. That's not going to be part of my essential. Can that count as an essential trip? Got to go to work to go get my coffee from home. I've got to go get my car. Obviously, that was a shitstorm, but yeah, I can get my car tomorrow. So wonderful. I was a little bit panicky about that as well because I'd cycled because I went to go get give my car to the garage. To cycle from here to mine and leave my bike and then drive the car to the garage and then walk back to mine and cycle back. And I was like, it's a long-winded route, but I was like, am I going to get stopped? Is this allowed? It was really panicky. Yeah.
Because you're a law-abiding citizen, mate. Exactly. I saw a report in the news the other day of a guy that got caught. He was in one of the flipping stupid groups with all the bodybuilders are idiots. And it was like, man got caught driving 112 miles to pick up gym equipment. And it was like, basically the long and short of it was he got a 30 quid fine, and everyone in there was like, yeah, I'd get a 30 quid fine to get gym equipment, no problem, like this. And it's like, it's not really the point, mate. So yeah, it's just
all these morons as well that are they're driving to places to have a walk. That is defeating the object of staying near your home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't understand it. And if you're working and you're non-essential, then I don't understand. If you're still coming in contact with people on different places, and because literally you're meant to wash your clothes if you go outside. You're meant to be like, these are the clothes that you wash. If you worn them, you might have contacted something, or they might be living on you, or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really get it. Don't get it, mate. But oh well. Any other business, mate? We hit the half an hour mark for our.
No, we'll be back in a few days, won't we? So
we will be back in a few days. We need to come up with some topics because health and fitness is slow right now, and we can't.
Well, we'll have watched Exotic Tiger King by then.
Exactly. So. We can talk about that for an hour, and then start some other ones. Now you need to do Luther because you'll love that, and Killing Eve.
Okay.
If you like murder and stuff like that, Killing Eve is really good. Yeah, I think you enjoy it. And Luther's what's his face, isn't it? Idris Elba. So that's fun. Angry fucker.
Because of that reason. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, what a beautiful man.
We'll give it a go.
All right, mate. Yeah, no business from me. Nothing's really changed. I guess keep annoying down on his Instagram.
Always do that.
How many eggs are you down to?
3.
Ooh, I think I'm down to about 4. I'm 3 or 4 as well. But as you saw, that I bought the shop out of Califia, so it's good.
Hoarding, stockpiling. No.
There was only 3 left, and I was like, fine, I'll buy them all. It's good.
Idiot.
All right, mate. I'll see you next week. Oh no, I'll see you like in a couple of days. Jesus.